This is your boy Brandon Love Sports TV. Shout out to the LDBC Lions Den community. And y'all like it when I do wrestling talk. I went back and tried to watch the replay. I guess I was in a bad area. I didn't think I was, but I don't know if it was WWE messing with my video, whatever it was. But we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna make it faster, quicker this time. Hit all the points I hit on the last video. This is about what I think WWE needs to do. Now, the first thing I talked about was Karrion Kross in my video. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know whether this is a work, whether it's a shoot. I think I'm starting to believe more and more that unless Karrion Kross is Denzel Washington, whether he's Al Pacino or John Travolta or any of these other guys, he deserves an Oscar for this performance. And honestly, I hope I'm wrong because, the problem with WWE is they don't listen to the fans. The fans are saying, we won't cross, but they're not listening. Kind of similar to what happened with R-Truth. A lot of things are going on because they don't listen to So Nick Khan and these guys and Triple H and all these guys, they think they know everything, but they don't. They don't listen to the fans. So here's how you fix this Karrion Kross issue. There's so much money to be made with this whole thing with Karrion Kross. I would go back and do some old school attitude era stuff with this. I'm gonna tell you how I would do it. The way you fix it is Karrion Kross, you bring him back, okay? But you don't tell the fans. You can't let nothing leak. Now, if this is already just a work already, well, then that just negates everything I'm about to say. But even if it is a work, this is how you work it. I would have Karrion Kross show up at the arenas unannounced. He just like make it look like he's going into business for himself. He comes out, he's banging on doors, he's got an entourage with him. At first, he don't have an entourage. First, it's just him. I don't even know if I would even have Scarlett out there at first. Maybe I'd bring her. But Karrion Kross and Scarlett, Karrion Kross is going ballistic. He's demanding to talk to Triple H, demanding to talk to the front office, just making a huge issue. And then the first time, the security is able to get him off. They're able to get him out of there. I would have him show up on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Because he wasn't a SmackDown guy. So now it looks all script. It looks, it's like he's ballistic. He's unhinged. He comes, then the next week he comes back. And it keeps happening every week to the point to where eventually like an entourage starts building up outside the ring. Because, the fans are already out there, we won't cross. Some of them protesting with their signs out there. And then Karrion Kross starts getting with the audience, getting with the crowd out there, like making such an issue and just like causing ruckus every week. He's coming out there to so much to the point to where he seems unhinged. Then after a while, he gets to another level of anger because clearly the protests aren't working. So now he's like throwing fits, damaging WWE property, just like to the point to where Triple H says, okay, I'm gonna talk to this dude. But no. At first, Triple H doesn't talk. He keeps saying, get them out of here. So you can drag this thing on. Because especially if you're showing it twice a week, we can get all the way to Survivor Series pretty quickly with this. Karrion Kross every week. And the fans, we won't cross. Then Kross is like tearing up like property. I mean, just diabolical, the evil laugh, all the stuff he's known for doing. All the things he's doing causing an uproar. And then each week, Triple H keeps sending out thing because they don't want Karrion Kross interrupting their show. The fans start hijacking the arena. We won't cross. We just like they doing now. Finally, Triple H is like, look, I'm going to teach this dude a lesson. Then they start talking. Then finally, Karrion Kross and Triple H have a face-to-face where they just yelling and screaming at each other. Karrion Kross is telling Triple H what he thinks. Triple H is like, you don't have the talent. You don't measure up. You're not as good as you think you are. There's a reason why you in NXT, just all this stuff. They're going back and forth, just jawing at each other. Then eventually Triple H starts to turn more and more like the corporate version of Triple H. He starts to turn more like the Vince McMahon kind of character. Karrion Kross, although he still has the heel personality, nothing about his personality changes, but just on the strength of fan popularity, he becomes a babyface. So now he's the Stone Cold Steve Austin in the whole scenario. So now you got this whole thing going on week after week after week between Triple H and Karrion Kross. So eventually Triple H is full-blown heel now. He's back on TV. He reforms another version of corporation, like a cross between the corporation and the authority. You know, Stephanie and them come back. They're just like, it's a whole, kind of that whole thing. I would make him team up with Paulie Dangerously or Paul Heyman. And, you know, they kind of come together and just form this authority kind of thing. So now you got, now Karrion Kross is like outnumbered. Like he's public enemy number one. Somehow LA Knight gets involved. Then you got LA Knight, Karrion Kross against the new version of the authority. Now you bringing back the Attitude Era pretty much now. Minus Vince McMahon. But Triple H is playing that Vince McMahon kind of character. And so each week, like Triple H starts doing everything he can to make life miserable for Karrion Kross and LA Knight. So you got that going on and on and on. That's going, we building up to Survivor Series. Then you know, whoever's your third top guy that needs a big push, you go get him, bring him in. Then now you got three top good guys against bad guys. But all the while, the authority is growing. They bringing people in, people turning heel left and right. And then now Karrion Kross has a platform. He's got some momentum. People have a reason to want to say they cheering for him with poor booking. So just imagine if they getting behind him and the booking is bad. Just imagine what this dude could do with the fans behind him. You know what I'm saying? So now you got that going on. The New Day is another group of guys that I feel like could have been pushed. They could have been used better, but they weren't by WWE. It was just stupid. That was one of the greatest heel turns in the history of not just the NWO. I mean, not just WWE, but in the history of wrestling. Man, I had to check my phone. And then you don't push them right. Like the way they turned on Big E, man, it was like I hated the New Day when they turned heel. Like I literally wanted to climb through that TV and choke the life out of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Cause like after all y'all been through and you did that, and you know, Big E was crying and the fans were like, they were so sympathetic. I mean, those guys had so much heat as heels, man. They couldn't even talk. Because every word that came out of their mouth, as soon as they opened their mouth, boo, 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 them dudes was getting Dominic Mysterio heat, man. But for some reason, Triple H fumbled the ball, just like and Nick Khan and all those guys, just like they did when John Cena turned heel. No real direction with it. You know, the New Day won the belts. They was on the trajectory of being great again. I always felt like that's what they needed. The New Day just need to go heel, and they did that, and it worked. And then all of a sudden, you mess up that whole thing. So it's like they gotta find a way to fix that. And the way to do it is have another encounter with Big E. Even if Big E is not released, I think he could take some bumps. I would, it's kind of like I would do like what NWS. I'm telling my age. What they did with Magnum TA after he had that accident, the Four Horsemen jumped him after the car accident, which was crazy. I just saw that recently, man. That even he couldn't even wrestle. The man was paralyzed from almost pretty much from the waist down, and they found a way for the Horsemen to attack him in that state. So I'm like, if he can do that, then they can find a way to make the New Day attack Biggie and all that kind of stuff. So you just find a way to keep the heat on the New Day. Just let them just keep on doing things and please, for the love of God, take the belts off of the Judgment Day, who probably need to be switched to babyface, or they need to break that whole thing up and put the belts back on the New Day as heels and just resume business. And I think they can fix that. That's not a big I don't think it's a big enough problem. I love what they're doing with Naomi. I wouldn't change Naomi. Keep the belt, please. Listen to me. Triple H, creative. Keep the belt on Naomi. For the love of God. It's working. Then you got, I'm not so sure. There's something about the women's division. I think the women's probably is just as talented, if not more talented. Becky Lynch, while she works good as a heel, she should be the baby face in a feud with either Bailey or Lyra Valkyria. You could turn either Bailey or Lyra Valkyria heel. I think Lyra Valkyria would do a phenomenal job as a heel. You know what I'm saying? Then you put heat on her. Then Becky Lynch goes back to being leading the division. They were trying to do that with Jade Cargill, but she just clearly her character's not working. Her wrestling skills are subpar. Her mic skills are okay, but she needs to be a heel. She needs to be a full-blown heel. Make her like Brock Cargill, like Brock. Make Jade a dominant heel that just attacks people, bullies people, beats people up. And I don't know what's going on with Bianca right now, but as soon as she gets back, she needs to be feuding with Jade Cargill. They were going in that direction. They got history. They were former tag team champions. Now all of a sudden, now you got something to work towards because they already had a relationship. So now those two are arch rivals now. You got Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant type of situation where they used to be friends. Then Andre joins with Bobby Heenan. Now he's back. You got to get a heater with Jade Cargill. Get her with I would put her with Paul Heyman or somebody like that. So now she's bad. She's hated. You didn't put her with Becky Lynch and don't keep Becky Lynch heel. You might have to cross brands on some of that stuff, but Jade Cargill needs to be a strong heel while she develops her skills. Her mic skills will get better and all that stuff, but just let her beat up people. That's what she does. And then, Bianca Belair, she could carry being, since you already turned Naomi heel. Then, it's apparently the oddball out is, because I actually was liking Bianca starting like she was turning heel, but that's not going to work. Because Naomi Jade Cargill can't carry herself. She can't carry as a baby face. She needs to be the heel in that feud. So as Bianca's going to have the fans behind her when she comes back from her injury or whatever while she's out. You bring her back. Jade Cargill attacks her. Now you got a feud. So now you solve that problem. WWE has a lot of potential to do a lot of really good things, but they just have to make the right moves. If they make the video here in a minute, I'm gonna talk about some AEW stuff. All right, I'm out.